everybody, welcome to today's class. Today we're going to be focusing on hips and low back. So we're going to be doing a lot of stretching in these areas, but also some mobility practice and strengthening. So when you want to be building flexibility in a joint, we need to be strengthening. Our immune system responds to lack of strength by tightening. So we really need to make sure that we get there. And then I just also want to practice with you some movements that we can do to get into these shapes. And if it feels inaccessible for you, I will be offering modifications, but I do encourage you to challenge yourself and give it a go as long as your body is not in pain or something like that. Because typically with strength, we feel like we cannot go any further, and that's kind of how you build the strength. You can't go any further, so you really try until you can't anymore, right? So I do recommend to have a block nearby. If you don't have a block, that's okay, but it will help with some of the things that we're gonna do. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start on in a seated position, You're gonna come to almost like a cross leg, but you're gonna bring your right foot in front of you. So we're not cross leg, we've got the right foot in front of us. Inhale, lengthen the spine, roll the shoulder blades back, really fill up the chest, and then a big exhale out, and then relax your spine. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lengthening the spine, drawing the shoulder blades down. Big exhale and relax everything. Now we're going to do that one more time, except as we relax, we're going to fold over our leg. So deep inhale, lengthen the spine, draw the shoulder blades down. And typically with the inhale, we want to be inhaling through the nose. If that's not accessible, you can inhale through the mouth, but just so you know, typically through the nose. And then as we exhale, we're gonna fold over our legs and we're gonna make this passive. So I want you to keep both of your sit bones glued to the ground, but the rest of you is really just gonna relax over your leg so that you feel a nice stretch in the glute and the hip area. If you don't, just bring your right foot a little bit further out and you should start to feel a nice deep stretch. Now let's relax the head, the neck, shoulders, and really just melt into the ground, but making sure that we're not lifting up the bum here. So you're just melting over your right leg. Start to become in tune with your breath. Taking deep inhales through the nose, filling up the lungs. And with each exhalation, see if you can fold a little bit deeper. Just bringing awareness to how your body feels in this moment. Noticing what stands out to you right now. One more inhale here. Release a little bit further down. And then slowly make your way all the way back up. Plant your left hand next to you on the floor, so it doesn't need to be any specific place really, just next to you. And then reach your right arm up and over so you come into a side body stretch. So I'll just show you because I'm facing the side there. So just placing your left hand on the ground, right arm up and over, staying in that same seated position that we were in. Should feel a really deep side body stretch, and lateral flexion is not something that we do often with our spine, but it's really good for the spine. So if you can come into this motion a few times a day, it's really good for you. You can do this while seated if you're sitting at a desk as well. Really good to relieve low back pain. Now let's come all the way back up. So I'm going to bring in the first little play around with using your strength here. And this is going to be quite difficult if you've never tried this before. So don't be hard on yourself. But what I want you to try and do, and just watch me first, is lift the right leg up and then bring it all the way behind you with no hands. Now, if you do need to use your hands, that's totally okay. You can use the hands to support you as you do this, or even to lift your leg behind you, but just kind of play around with that and see if you can sort of practice activating those muscles, okay? So leg goes all the way behind, 90-degree angle with the back, 45-degree angle with the front leg. So 45, 90. Left fingertips are on the floor, and then your right hand is on your hip here. You're gonna push your hips forward and then release them back down. Push the hips forward, release down. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Now, staying in this position where you're pushing the hips forward, can you lift the right foot up and then place it back down? Right foot up, squeezing this glute, and then back down. If it feels like you cannot even lift it up, that's okay. Just the simple mind-body connection that's happening when you're trying to do this is progress, okay? So your body might not even know how to make those connections to make your foot move. It's kind of crazy. And that happens a lot with cat-cow when I'm first teaching cat-cow. A lot of my clients don't know how to even do this motion. Within a few weeks, they can do it. So let's do 3. Last 2, and 1. Okay, place the foot back down. Now we're gonna reach behind us and begin to lean back. Internal rotation, stretch of the hip. We don't do this very often in yoga, so it can also be quite intense. If you feel like all you can do is lift all the way up and then you already feel that stretch, that's totally okay. If you feel like you can lean back to feel that stretch and that feels good for you, stay right there. You can even, I think the wall's behind me, come all the way down to your forearms and maybe all the way down to your back. Now I'm not going to do that, but we are just going to stay here for a few breaths. Just make sure that you can feel kind of that internal rotation of the hip. Let's take 3 breaths deep. Inhale through the nose. And with the exhale, see if you can go a little bit deeper. And a way you can go deeper without moving back is tucking in the pelvis a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to do because I'm not going to lean back anymore. I'm just going to tuck in my pelvis a little bit more. Deep inhale. And tuck it in. Deep inhale. Tuck it in. Let's slowly make our way all the way back up. And then we're going to practice lifting the back leg up and over again. Reminder, you can use the floor, you can use your hands to lift your leg up, but just kind of practicing activating those muscles. So you're going to lift it back up and see if you can lift this right leg all the way over, and I even used my hand there, all the way over your left leg. So we've kind of got like a crisscross situation. The left leg is still in that 45, and then we're bringing the right leg up and over. And then from here, making sure that both your sit bones are on the ground, so we're not lifting like this. Both sit bones on the ground, lengthen spine, draw your shoulder blades down, hug your right knee into your chest, twist over to the right. So when you're twisting, you're typically going to twist towards your leg, okay? So sometimes if, for example, if we are in a low lunge, I see people kind of twisting away from the bent knee. But when you're twisting, typically going towards the leg that's closest to you, just to help you in the future there. Once again, let's take a few deep breaths in, and then as we exhale, we'll go a little bit deeper. So deep breath in, exhale, twist it a little bit more. One more breath in. Exhale, twist a little bit more. And then unwind. From here, we're going to bring our hands back behind us again and come straight into figure 4. So you're just lifting your left leg up, and then you're going to push your right knee out. So that you can kind of like, almost like you're pushing it with your hand, but you're going to try to do it just with your mind, not with your hand. So that we can create that connection as well as that for that external rotation. So we have a nice long spine, shoulder blades are drawing together here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, just walk your hands closer to your body. If you need to kind of not make this a little bit less intense, just bring your foot back and open yourself up. Give yourself more space here. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale. Now, we're practicing this deep breathing, and you keep breathing as I say this, to really supply the muscles with oxygen, to help them relax and lengthen and open. to also let your body know that it's safe. So we're activating the parasympathetic nervous system as we're breathing, if that makes sense. Let's do one more breath here. And then exhale. Bring your right leg up. And then we'll do the other side. So you're going to bring your left foot in front of you this time, just like we did in the beginning. And we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, let's fold over. Coming back into that relaxing position where we are stretching passively. We're not really activating the spine here. We're really just allowing the head and neck to fall towards the mat. With each exhalation, see if you can go a little bit deeper into the stretch. Last breath. Slowly roll your way all the way back up. Plant your right hand next to you, lift your left arm up and over, side body stretch, keeping both your sit bones glued to the ground like a little anchor. They're stuck there, they're not going to lift up, and you're not going to get that lateral flexion as much. And I know I'm coming down to my forearm, but just remember, if your body feels really good all the way up here, that's totally okay. Just listen to your body. Once you feel that stretch, you'll know. Don't push yourself. It's really gonna be counterproductive. I think in flexibility, we just need to push, but that's gonna tell your body that you're not safe. It's gonna tell your muscles to contract even more. So you really, really don't wanna do that. All right, let's come all the way back up. Then we're gonna lift our left leg, see if we can do it without hands, all the way back. So we come into the 45 at 90 angle. Right fingertips right here, left hand on the hip. Push your hips forward, release back down. Forward, release back down. So when you're pushing forward, you're really just squeezing that left glute to bring the hip forward rather than twisting the whole body. I see that sometimes, so just wanted to note there. See if you can keep the top body as still as possible. It might move a little bit, but not much. Okay, so one more. And then we're gonna stay in that lifted position. See if you can lift your back foot up and then back down. Up, back down. 3. Last 2. And 1. Relax back down. Lift the left leg up and over, all the way over your right. Grab your left knee with your right arm and then twist over to the left. Some people twist like this where you hook your elbow behind your knee. I really don't like that position. I feel like that is harsh on the shoulders. You can feel free to do that, but just so you know, I have a little thought on that one. It's not my favorite. I always feel like something's ripping in my shoulder and that just doesn't feel good to me. So remember in yoga in general, if something doesn't feel good to you, don't do it. Stay away from it. There's lots of things that I stay away from. Plow pose is one of them. We'll talk about that sometime. Let's take one more inhale here. Exhale a little bit more. Beautiful job. Unwind. Come into figure 4. So bringing your right foot flat, kind of adjusting so that it feels good for you. And then when you feel a stretch, breathe into it. Last breath. Beautiful job. Let's unwind that foot. And then we're just gonna send, well, let's first put our feet as wide as the mat. Then we'll send our knees over to the right, then over to the left. Just a little windshield wiper loosening up the joints. Might feel good. This is nice to do every day as well. All right, now let's meet in tabletop. So you're gonna bring your wrists beneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips, and we'll do a few rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, draw the belly button down as you send your gaze out in front of you, arching the spine, drawing the shoulder blades together. Don't arch so much so that you feel pain in your low back. That's also a common mistake. So just arch to what feels good for you. Don't arch until you start to feel pressure and compression there, okay? And then as you exhale, rounding the spine, tucking the pelvis in, pushing the shoulder blades away from one another, your chin is going to come to meet your chest. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Let's do 3 more. I do apologize. There is some construction happening outside. There may be some bangs. I do apologize for that. I do try to film around them, but they always seem to come back whenever I try to film, so I do apologize for that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tuck our toes and find downward facing dog, but I do wanna go through this in case you're new to down dog. So tuck your toes first from tabletop, and then what you're gonna do rather than just flopping into down dog is you're first gonna send your hips all the way up to the sky, find belly to thigh connection. Then you're gonna draw your heels down and send your chest towards your knees. That's your perfect down dog. Now, when I say send heels down, they do not have to look like this. They will probably look like this, okay? So nice bent knees, and you're sending your heels down and you're arching your spine. So that's how you're gonna get that perfect down dog. Just making sure that you're not going to start to straighten the leg and then compensate for that by rounding the spine. Then you're really not gonna get anywhere. So just make sure that you are bending the knees, keeping a straight spine, and that's just gonna be much better. All right. Inhale, lift the right leg all the way up. And then as you exhale, hug your knee into your chest, step it through, and we're gonna find low lunge. Reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Tuck in the pelvis here for a nice stretch along the left hip. Inhale. And then as you exhale, push back, finding half split. Spread your toes out and flex your toes towards your face. Nice long spine again. Once again, remember that you really don't want to be rounding the spine to compensate for a straight leg here. Rather, bending the knee, straightening the back so that you feel that stretch in the hamstring. And the reason that we want to do this for the low back is, sorry, my microphone's falling out. The reason that we want to do this for the low back is because there's a lot of tension that builds up when we have tight hamstrings. Imagine the muscles kind of bundling together. So we do want to release this region as well. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, fold over the leg. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And then come all the way back up. So we've got that half split again, but we're not folding over too much. I want you to see if you can send your toes out to the right and inside as well. So external rotation, internal rotation. Now, just so you know, if your block is nearby, you can totally use it to lift you up on one side, or if you have 2 blocks, you can lift yourself up like that too. Just taking a note, whoopsie. All right, so external and internal. All right. Okay, so from here, we're gonna come back into that low lunge. Lift up the left knee and then see if you can come all the way into a crescent lunge. So we're practicing activating those muscles, and balance is amazing for strengthening. Once again, make sure that you're not arching here. You want to be tucking in the pelvis, keep a bend in the back knee, and then reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands out in front of you. Inhale, twist over to the right. Practicing control, practicing balance. If you fall, it's totally okay. Exhale, bring your hands back together. And then let's plant the palms, push back, find downward facing dog again. Beautiful job. Feel free to pedal out your dog here. Just loosening up after all that tension. All right. Inhale, left leg rises up. Exhale, hug the knee into the chest. You step it through and find low lunge, tucking in the pelvis here for that stretch. Inhale through the nose. As you exhale, push back. Let's find half split. Feel free to use your blocks. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Come back up. We're staying in the half split. We're going to externally rotate the toes out and then in. So out and in. Feels uncomfortable, I know. Just opening up that little part of our hip. All right. Come back, walking your hands forward, lift up your right knee, and then lift all the way up. Feel free to kind of adjust as needed into crescent lunge. Tucking that pelvis so that you feel that stretch. Lengthening the spine, drawing the shoulder blades down. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands out in front of you. Inhale, twist over to the left. Exhale, hands back out in front of you. Plant your palms down, find downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Maybe do a pedal, maybe rock from side to side. All right, ready. Inhale, right leg rises up. Exhale, hug the knee into the chest, step it through, find low lunge. We're gonna challenge ourselves this time. Try not to use your hands and see if you can push back and sweep your hands back, half split. Straightening the back, you can keep a bent knee, just practicing balance. Inhale, come back to low lunge, and then lift up, crescent lunge. Beautiful job. Inhale. Exhale, hands out in front of you. Inhale, twist over to the right. Exhale, hands back out in front of you. Place your hands down, but this time we're going to bring the left leg just a little bit closer so that we can find pyramid pose. Okay, so this is also another good time to have your block or two blocks if you'd like, but just something to kind of lift you up, okay? So that you're not so deep in your hamstring here. You can also bend your leg as always, but just finding a nice comfortable pyramid pose for you, lengthening the spine. Inhale here. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. All right, come back up. Now what we're gonna do, and feel free to shuffle as needed, is we're gonna make sure that the block is close because we're gonna come into half moon. So place your block just above you in front of your mat, and then lift up your back leg. You can have a little micro bend in the knee here, and then place your hand on your block. Flex your feet down towards the mat first. So we're coming kind of into like a one-legged halfway lift. Inhale. And then as you exhale, see if you can twist your left foot out. So externally rotate the left foot and bring your left arm up to the sky. We're not seeing how high we can lift our leg. See if you can keep it in line with the rest of your body. Half moon. And then exhale. Slowly internally rotate your left foot again, facing the ground. Come back into the low lunge. Push back, downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Inhale, left leg this time rises up. Exhale, step it through, finding low lunge. Challenging ourselves again. Sweep your hands back. Find half split. Inhale, low lunge. And then let's lift all the way up to crescent lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, float your hands out in front of you. Inhale, twist over to the left. Exhale, bring your hands back out in front of you. Float your hands down to your mat and then bring your back leg a little bit closer so that you can find pyramid pose. Remember, you can bend your leg here. You can also come up, lift yourself away from the ground. Just make sure that you're not overstretching here. Have your block out in front of you. Inhale. Exhale, fold a little bit. All right, let's bring our weight forward and start to lift up our right leg. So keeping a micro bend in this knee right here, one-legged halfway lift. And then take a deep inhale. As you exhale, externally rotate your right foot so that you can find half moon using your block for stability. Now, if you fall, that is totally normal. This is all about, it's how practice is. You have to fall, fail, make all the mistakes. It's okay. Let's internally rotate our right foot again and come back into low lunge. Push back, downward facing dog, and then float your knees down, child's pose. Beautiful job. Taking this moment to relax. Don't think too much about this pose, just really allow yourself to sink into it. Acknowledging all of the hard work that you just did within your body. Noticing the challenges that you faced, maybe a fear that you faced, knowing that you could do it. Deep inhale through the nose. Let's do a big exhale, sigh it out. Reach your arms out in front of you if they aren't already, and walk your hands over to the right. Deep side body stretch along the left. Bring your right hand beneath your shoulder, twist over to the right. So a child's pose, side bend twist, little combination. Deep inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Walk your hands over to the left. Deep side body stretch along the right. Left hand beneath your shoulder, twist over to the left. Keep breathing. Come back to center. Walk your hands back to the middle. Come all the way back up and then bring your legs out in front of you. So feet hip width distance, bend your knees, reach your arms out in front of you, and then slowly lower down as slow as you possibly can, all the way down to your back. See if you can keep your feet on the ground. It's really hard. Ooh. All the way down to your back. All right. Now from here, option, if you want to use your block underneath your bum, this is really nice. It just feels quite relaxing. You don't have to though. You can just place your block right underneath your low back there, and then just lift your feet up towards the ground. So legs up the ceiling, up to the ceiling. Legs up the wall pose. Close off your eyes and just notice how you feel in this moment. Your legs might be shaking. It's totally normal, mine are too. All right. If you have a block underneath your bum, remove it. If not, just stay where you are. And then from here, we're going to come into reclined Gomukhasana. So This can be quite an intense stretch as well. We're stretching the outsides of the hips. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cross, let's do the left leg over the right first, and then you're gonna reach for your big toes, and then you're just gonna pull your big toes towards you, and you should feel a really deep stretch in your left outer hip. Once again, just make sure that you're not lifting up your bum here, you're keeping everything flush with the mat there. Deep inhale. Exhale, pull closer, and then release your legs out in front of you, and then just bring the right over the left. We'll do the same thing, reach for your toes. By the way, if you can't reach for your toes, just grab for your legs. Remembering to breathe. Release your legs out again, bring your knees into your chest, place your hands on top of your knees, and then do circles with your knees. So just massage your low back. Maybe reverse the direction. And then bring your feet out as wide as your mat, knock your knees together, and then face your toes towards one another. Bring your palms to face the sky, close off your eyes, and just melt into the floor. Take the next few minutes just to really sink into your body, allow your body to relax, and allow those connections to kind of happen as you rest. If you just get up and kind of keep going on with your day, it'll kind of slow down the process. This is a great way to expedite the process. Savasana is amazing for this. So definitely stay here for a few minutes. Guys, you did amazing. I know it was challenging, but be so proud of yourself for showing up and doing what you did today. See you in the next one.